A projection screen dominates the front of the hall. The door to Hartridge's office is locked. There's a PA speaker on the wall. Gabriel's in one of the lecture halls at Tulane University. A lighted sign says exit. The podium, Hartridge's throne. Gabriel isn't in the mood to give a lecture. Dr. Hartridge is sharp-eyed and even sharper-tongued. When he condescends to look at Gabriel at all, it is with a dismissive glare. Gabriel isn't in the mood. The seats are the fold-down kind.
I've spent all the time in those chairs that I care to. I've spent all the time. Can you tell me anything about this?
No, I've never seen those symbols. Therefore, they're probably meaningless.
Really? Are you sure?
I'm never wrong, Mr. Knight. Therefore, sure is not in my vocabulary.
Is there anything you can tell me about the voodoo aspects of this photograph?
This is a serious voodoo ritual. Nasty stuff.
In what way?
Let's see. I can't make out much detail from this photograph, except for the corpse, of course, but the wound, the face, and what little I can see of the ritual paraphernalia, It reminds me of certain black voodoo practices. Very rare. I've never witnessed them myself, you understand.
Really? Interesting. Thanks. Can you tell me anything?
No.
Can you tell me?
No.
Can you tell me?
No. Are you a student?
No.
Well, you've already interrupted and slept through my lecture, Mr. Knight. I hope you have something worthwhile to do here, if you figure it out.
What can you tell me?
You already sat through my lecture on the subject, Mr. Knight. Perhaps next...
What do you know?
As I said, I don't know anything but what the papers say. According to them, there's no... I wasn't interested before, but now, yes. I'd like to figure out where these people come from and what they're up to. They are obviously some very frightening and deadly serious voodoo.
What can you tell?
I find it interesting to see the occasional fragment of voodoo practices in the everyday culture of New Orleans.
What else?
The Catholic Church has always dominated in New Orleans, and its imagery, in turn, has dominated New Orleans voodoo.
What?
If there's more you wish to know, perhaps...
Do you know anything about?
I'm not a zoologist, Mr. Knight, but I know all...
What can you tell?
It's June 23rd, the feast day of St. John the Baptist. But June 23rd has been a sacred day since the earliest time. Ancient sun worshippers used to roll a flaming wheel down a hill to celebrate the sun's descent on that day.
A burning wheel. Huh. Do you know anything about...
While I find the colloquial bastardizations of voodoo somewhat interesting, from a sheerly intellectual point of view, there's not a lot of relation.
Do you know anything about...
As I said in my lecture, which I assume you actually listened to, is that animal masks, totems, are...
Do you know anything about veves?
If you'd taken notes during my lecture...
Tell me what you mean.
Well, like any religion, the beliefs can tend toward positive or negative. Christianity, for example, has its doppelganger, Satanism. Anytime you attempt to set up an icon to explain evil, you invite some warped mind. The same is true of voodoo. There are those who are drawn by and desire personal power from the darker, bloodier Loa.
Can you give me a name?
All right. There is a very secret, very dark cult in Haiti called the Cult des Morts, Cult of the Dead. Their primary Loa is Papa Nebo, Loa of the cemetery. They practice a particularly disgusting form of necromancy, magic using the dead. They dig up corpses and use their decaying bodies for various spells and curses.
Can you give me another
In tribal Africa,
Is
only that if it's being practiced.
Tell me about
Dumbala is one of the major Rada Loa, also known as Dumbala Wedo. He is an ancient Dahomian rain god, often represented as a large boa constrictor. Dumbala is the most powerful and most violent of the Rada Loa. The Rada Loa are typically benevolent, as opposed, say, to the Patro Loa. He is still worshipped heavily in Haiti. And when voodoo first started in New Orleans, the early conclaves were reportedly based on the worship of the great zombie, the great serpent, Dambala.
Tell me more.
I have extensive courses in the Loa running next semester.
Tell me about
Ogun Badagri is one of the Patro Loa. Some people believe the Patro Loa originated in Haiti, but I have found some evidence that the Patro Loa.
Tell me more.
He is a chief nasty, Mr. Knight.
Tell me.
All right, Mr. Knight. I'm 35, a fully tenured professor at this university, as well as a fellow at Cambridge. My doctorate was obtained at Syracuse. Yes, Syracuse. In religious study. I'm an agnostic, but I find human belief systems fascinating. I specialize in African religions because I grew up there. My father was a Protestant missionary. And I am heterosexual, when I practice sex at all, which isn't very often. Any other questions?
No.
Fine.
I'd really like...
There have been several articles written about me, Mr. Knight, as well as blurbs on my book jackets.
Your lecture was terrific.
Oh, you think so? You were snoring so loud,
You must track...
Yes.
I'm very interested in voodoo.
How nice for you.
Do you know what Capri Saint-Cor means?
Cabri Saint-Cor? Yes, I do. It's a Haitian term, I believe. It's French, and literally translates as goat without horns.
As in a female goat?
No, as in a human sacrifice. Sacrifices in voodoo are usually of the animal variety. Chickens, bulls, goats. If the gods demand a goat without horns, it means a human being.
Tell me more about human sacrifice.
It's very rare. Most voodoo practices do not include human sacrifice as a matter of record, but it is theoretically possible, if that's what the gods demand. For example, one of the chants I had translated for me from a Haitian ritual went like this: Mistress Ezuli, come and aid us. If a cock is demanded, we will give it. If a bull will suffice, behold it. But if a goat without horns is required for sacrifice, oh, where will we find one? Ezuli is the gentlest of Loa, so they call on her for mercy. But I have seen grown and powerful Houngan tremble before possession by one of the more violent Loa, such as Papa Nebo. Clearly, they are afraid that something of the sort will be ordered, or that Loa will simply take it for themselves.
Tell me more about...
I wouldn't dwell on it. Most voodoo sects probably...
What was that translation?
It's... Oh, do keep in touch.
How's it going today?
What? Oh, it's only you. Man, I have been jumpy all day. That pattern of yours really freaked me out for some reason. There's just something creepy.
You finished it?
Yeah, and you're welcome to it. Here.
Wow. This is great.
Yeah, just don't, like, blow up the planet with it or something, okay?
I didn't mean to upset you.
Forget it. I'm probably just being stupid. Do your thing with it, and, good luck.
The reconstructed Veve was done for Gabriel by a technical artist. The artist's reconstruction of the voodoo murders pattern looks accurate to Gabriel. Something about it seems vaguely... Madame Lorelei, the fortune teller, is garbed in a belly dancer's outfit and wears a boa around her neck. A real boa. The booth is a colorful melange. It announces the owner as Madame Lorelei and gives prices for palm readings, $20, crystal ball gazing, $15, and birth charts, $50. Madame Lorelei lounges at the booth, fondling her snake. Madame Lorelei seems less approachable when she's behind that booth.
Madame Lorelei, is it?
What can I do for you, handsome?
How's business?
How's business?
How about a...
The prices are listed.
They seem a little...
Well, I sometimes do, my intimate friend.
I'm sure you... That's a nice snake.
Oh, I could say the same of you.
Well,
That's personal.
I'd really like...
Oh, sorry, sweetie.
Uh,
Well, then move aside, sweetie.
can you tell me...
No.
Can you tell me anything?
Wow. Interesting. Very interesting. Mind if I copy this?
Be my guest.
Great. I'll be right back. Here you go. You know, this is a fascinating Veve. You must tell me all about its origin.
Actually, I was hoping you'd tell me. Can you figure out anything about it from the symbols?
Well, some. That's why I wanted a copy. I want to research the design myself.
Have you heard of the voodoo murders?
No, you're kidding. Really? Then the voodoo is authentic. The newspapers are wrong. Boy, are they wrong.
You think this Veve is authentic?
Authentic? Mr. Knight, that's like asking if the Mona Lisa is a painting. Tell you what, I'll look into these symbols myself and see what I can learn about the sect that made this. I'll give you a call when I have more information. You are associated with the police, aren't you?
Absolutely. But I'm undercover. You can contact me at St. George's Bookshop in the quarter.
All right. Now, I'd like to get started on this, if you don't mind. Oh, do keep it...
A sign under...
The sign says the over... Do you recognize...
Don't look familiar.
Can I ask you... Are you telling me that you own a voodoo shop, but you know nothing about voodoo practices?
Ça fait n'est pas ça faire blanc.
What does that mean?
It mean you should mind your own business.
I found out what Cabri Sanko means. How did you know about human sacrifice?
I never said them words, monsieur.
What are you thinking?
If you're not from around here, monsieur.
Do you know anything?
Black voodoo.
Does the name Ogun...
Don't talk like that around here, man.
Do you know anything?
Like the ones in the voodoo.
Right.
They curiosities, no?
Oh, yeah. Have you ever heard...
Damballa is an African legend about a great...
Would you...
Don't insult.
What? So,
We...
hello, Dr. John.
Glad you could...
Does this pattern look...
Where did you get that?
You do recognize it then?
I have never seen it before in my life.
Are you sure about...
I am sure.
Does this mean anything?
I can't.
Perhaps Gabriel should learn more about the...
Could I ask you some more?
Of course.
Does the name Ogun...
I do not believe.
Isn't he one of the Loire?
Perhaps. I
Do
am
you know
not
anything
familiar
about
with some
them?
of... I believe they have something to do with Haitian voodoo. But that is not really my area.
Do you know anything about black voodoo?
That sort of viewpoint makes my work very difficult, Mr. Knight. If there are one or two ignorant believers, that is none of my concern. And I do not care to promote a Hollywood interpretation of voodoo by discussing it.
Have you ever heard of Damballa?
Of course, it is one of the Loire.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
I used to have some antique African totem masks, but they were on the point of disintegration, so I removed them.
So where do you pick...
Oh, here and there.
Do you ever get any...
You mean, besides yourself?
Yeah, besides...
I do not care to make those kinds of judgments.
You're a big guy, aren't you?
I do not play basketball.
Who, me? No, you just look like such...
I do find ways of keeping fit, Mr. Knight. After all,
You sound like Grace. I should get the...
is Grace your wife?
No, she just acts like it. So what do you think of our summer weather? Have you ever seen it so overcast?
It is unpleasant.
Nice out?
I prefer simple cotton to dead flesh.
I'll have to remember that. This is quite a place.
Thank you, Mr. Knight. It is gratifying to see others
Goodbye, Dr. John.
Goodbye, Mr.
Someone is in that.
Does this mean anything?
Nope.
Does this mean anything?
Nope.
Does this mean anything?
Nope.
Hello, beautiful.
The excitement of seeing.
I have a pattern I need.
How interesting.
It's a reconstruction of the tracings they found around the murder victims. The ones done in flour and blood.
Yuck. You shouldn't carry this kind of thing around. Who knows what these symbols mean?
Well, wear your evil banishing gloves if you want, but check it out for me, would you?
I'll see what I can find out.
Got 'em.
What's up?
Does the name Ogun...
Ugh. No.
Have you...
No.
Do you know any
Not
ritual...
fascinating.
Do you know anything about black voodoo?
Black voodoo? Ugh, now what are you getting yourself into?
Nothing you need to know about, do you?
I know there are dark forms of any major religion. Where there's a yin, there's a yang.
Speaking of yin and yang...
But no, I don't know anything really about voodoo, dark or otherwise, sorry.
Are you sure?
You are?
Tell me.
What do you want to know?
No. Hi. Hello, I'm calling from the Dixieland drugstore.
Hush, Castro.
The number you have dialed has been disconnected. Please hang up and...